Yeah, we're live, we're live. Hello everybody, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is Mike from Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. Yep, that's one of my refrigerator magnets, folks. If you want one, hey, drop me your name and address in a PM and I'll send you one. No strings attached, no cost, no nothing. It's just a free refrigerator magnet if you want one. Oh my, it's a sunny. Been a relatively sunny Monday day here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. They claim it may rain here in a little while, but I don't care. Because as you can see, we've got this very special car in my garage, which is air conditioned and heated. Not for me, for the products. But I did not do an initial walk around video on this thing because this car, even though it's a 2013, I think it's got 6,000 miles on it, garage kept, it's never been rained on, and this is most likely the best well cared vehicle I have ever had, including some brand new ones. I've had brand new vehicles that were only a month old that were not in this good of a shape. Oh man, it's been a pleasure. And as you can see, I have taken the tag off of it. It belongs to a veteran, an ex-employee and friend of mine. As you can see, his license plate has the Purple Heart on it, which was hard won by him, combat wounded. He was shot in the chest by a sniper. I think it was Iraq, I'm not positive. It was a long road back for him, months and months and months of surgeries and all that kind of stuff. He worked for me before he left. When he came back, he wanted to go back and fight some more, but they wouldn't allow it, so he did come back to work for me. That was, a few years back. But this is one of his cars. And he's getting what I call the Concours level detail. That means it gets everything. Everything I can think of, find, and all, I mean everything. It's my highest level of detailing. And I didn't do the initial video because even though I've been working on this car all day long, many of you would have said, hey, it doesn't look much different. And you know what? It really doesn't at this point. It really does not. Because it was so well cared for to begin with. And I would try to show you the micro marring that it does have, probably from washing, but it's barely perceptible. You have to really look and get up really close and go over this car inch by inch to even find it. But it's there. I can see it with my naked eye, but it's not going to show up on camera in most places. So I'm not even going to try. Just trust me. It's there. It's there. But today, she was strip washed, foam, all that stuff with a citrus-based mid-alkaline soap, because it really wasn't all that dirty. And I went ahead and deconned it, but even though I could not even feel any contaminants on there. But if you've seen some of my photographs, after that, what I've been doing is going around it with the Optimum No Rinse, and all these little detail brushes you see here, the Citral 266, Optimum No Rinse. If you saw my photographs, all those little brushes, Q-tips, everything I could find. I had a lot of different tools in this battle. In fact, I'll show you. I used 2 different kinds of Q-tips and is still using them. This is a little applicator brush, that green thing, to get in some of the little cracks and crevices. Dragged out this tool, which is actually a wheel tool. It's a really soft cloth. I think it's microfiber little brush. It helps, and it helped me. All those helped me a lot when I got around to the front end here. I'll show you guys. Look at all those little honeycombs. Man, what a pain, what a pain. And then stuff like this has kind of got the honeycomb pattern to it, but they don't go through. This, actually, that was easier to clean. But some of these, I don't know if y'all can see that, don't go all the way through. Those were much harder to clean. Around the emblem, there was some bug splatter. There's still some like down here. I haven't got down here yet. And there's a bunch of bug splatter all in this that I'll have to get out. I'm cleaning all this rubber and vinyl because everything is going to get the appropriate coating once it's very, very clean. And as you can see, when my mechanics creeper comes out, that means I'm getting down to the bottom and underneath, so I can lay down on the ground and kind of scoot along with all my stuff and clean all up under there. And I'll be concentrating on the front end right now, getting all up under there, all up in where these fog lights are and the marker lights and all that kind of stuff. Then after I finish the front end, then I will go around the car, and what I will be doing is getting like these parts here, the fender wells. Got to get all up under there. This would be easier if I had a lift and I could just lift this car up in the air where I could get to it easier, but you know, I don't have one. So improvise, adapt, and overcome, right, Tim? Beautiful car. I have a collector customer. I sent him a picture and asked him what he thought. He said, those are badass. And he has some badass cars, trust me. But one thing I was going to tell you guys is that I was talking to the owner, Tim, about the tires and the wheels, and I was asking him about the tire coatings because there are several options. He said, I don't care about tire coatings. Well, maybe he doesn't, but I think whoever had this car before him does, because it's a very oily, slicky stuff on there. So I'm going to have to go back and scrub all that off and apply a water-based dressing, because this will, I know this car doesn't get driven much. It stays in the garage. It's never been rained on, but you know, if you got stuck out somewhere, or you know, there was a lot of wind blowing and stuff up in the air, when dirt hits this, it will be more likely to stick to it because of that grubby, grimy, slick, sticky finish. So I got to get rid of all that, and then I will recoat it. What I'll do is like a small test spot, and then I'll send Tim a picture, a photograph, and see if that's too glossy for him. If it is, then I will switch to another project. And you know, from a couple feet away, you know, those wheels look pretty clean, do they not? Yeah, don't look too bad. They're pretty rims, but in all reality, they are really not. See where I just rubbed my finger on there? Really not that clean. That is most likely brake dust. So on these particular wheels, I don't think it's, you know, that stuff has bonded to the finish yet. So I will be using a non-acidic, which is not really acid in the way we usually think of acid. It's a pH balanced or a low alkaline based cleaner. It will be absolutely safe on these wheels. And you know, always go with the least aggressive method, and it should take all that right off of there. And I'll get my long thin brushes, get way back up in these wheel barrels here. There's try to get all that as clean as I possibly can. Oh man, yeah, I've got to get way up under all this. So yeah, you know, when I get it all absolutely clean, then the entire vehicle, there's a bug, will be prepped. I've already done the rear, super cleaned all that stuff. As you can tell, as usual, I've taken the license plate off, which you already know that because I showed you part of it. But I'm going to come, when I come around, I will get way up under all that stuff, all those little detail brushes I got in all these little nooks and crannies and cracks and crevices, as I call them. If you were looking at some of the photographs, you will have noticed it wasn't a very good photograph, but I used like getting down, and I even got down in these little cracks here around all the windows, and I cleaned. I don't know if y'all can tell that there's a little crevice there in that gasket or whatever it is itself, and then there's a crack there, and I got the Q-tips all down in there, and they were turning black, which means they were not clean. I suspect that somebody put some retail level stuff on them, and over time it has turned black. I got my Q-tips out with all these cracks here, all of them. So everything all around, every window, every little crack and crevice has been super cleaned. Used my Q-tips to get in this crack here where the rear view side mirrors are. The windows have been cleaned, but they will need to be topically polished, which is relatively easy to do, although it does take some time in preparation for putting the titanium glass coating on the glass, all the exterior. Now, you shouldn't really polish the rear view mirrors because I do not believe those are tempered glass. Fortunately, this car is pretty well kept, and it's got some kind of retail stuff on it. When I rub my finger across the glass, I can feel it, so that's all got to be gone. So I'll give it a light polish, follow that up with isopropyl alcohol to prep it for that glass coating, which is entirely different from the paint coating. Super cleaned all this, which I will prep it with alcohol also, and there will be a protectant put on here. There again, there's a ceramic coating made just for this kind of material, and I may just do a tiny little test spot, and once again send a photograph to Tim and see if that's too glossy for him, because it's a high gloss ceramic coating is what it is. Yeah, you know, the same thing with like that front lip spoiler, I think they call it, these other parts. There are other products I can use that don't leave quite as much of a gloss, but they do not protect quite as well either. Clean all the windshield wipers, arms and blades, all that stuff, folks. But this thing is turning out really good so far. When I put this TMR coating on there, it's a 9-10 year coating, and it is way thicker, turn this other light on, and way harder than what I have on my car at the moment. I have the 9H titanium coating. This is what I'm going to be putting on this car is a step above that. It goes on almost like syrup, and it's a little bit more difficult to, you know, get down, but it will enhance the gloss and shine on this thing. It will dry much harder than the other stuff does, and it also protects against salts, all that, most everything. It's just a step above what I have on my car at the moment, until I get a chance to put this new stuff I'm going to put on this car on my car. But I may wait till after I get mine painted to do that. There was some contaminants up in that little area there, you can see there's some cracks. You know, road debris gets up in there. It was a little bit dirty, but not terrible. And I will prep that again, Tim. I see you, Tim. Hey, buddy. Hi. So all that, I'll do the same. These things will get a coating, and they will have to be prepped first, although they have been cleaned extremely well now. Tim, I even got in behind your gas cap, buddy. Uh-oh. Plastic bags hanging out that I had protecting your seat, Tim. I'll have to fix that. I usually do this, Tim. I put the floor mat in there and cover the seats up because occasionally I have to move this car back and forth. And so I put that in because I get pretty nasty doing all this kind of work. There's one of my high dollar drying towels. That little haze there is from the O&R that you see. There's a few contaminants on the roof, Tim, but they should be gone by the time this is over. So anyway, that's just a little catch up, folks. Yep, I used all my little bitty detailing tools, got all down in here, cleaned all those. I will be putting a different type of protectant on there that's designed just for those plastic material as opposed to the TMR coating that is going on the paint. Now, the other question I've got, I know it's permissible to coat the stripes, but that may give too much of a shine to these stripes, Tim. But what I'll do is, like I was talking earlier, you need to go back and watch this video, I will put a little bit in a tiny little test spot, which I can get off, and if that's too glossy for you, we will go with a different product on the stripes themselves. So you might want to be thinking about that, because these are a matte black. They have a little bit of a gloss to them, but not much. And most people, they like this look. It's there for a reason, and they do not want to change that look. So give that some thought and just shoot me a text or a message or something. Let me know. Let me know. Kind of the same thing goes for this, for different reasons. All this other plastic and vinyl trim and stuff, you know, your lip spoiler, that kind of stuff, Tim. Your, I guess this is like mud flap back here. You know, there are different varying products. This rear spoiler will be kind of the same deal. You know, we'll have to decide what level of gloss and shine we want to add to that. And the gloss will be fine on this. This is what we call piano black. That is very soft paint. So extra care has to be taken with that. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, I do, because it's cheap. Yeah, we'll put that stuff like on these antenna bases, all that. And all this is going to be taped off. You know, when I'm doing the buffing, Tim, the stripes will be taped off. All the cracks will be taped off, because I don't want, and that's basically just to save me time. I don't want all that crap getting down in those cracks, because it can be difficult later to go back and clean up. But it also protects these edges. But since I'm not going to be rotary buffing this car, I'm not as concerned about that as I would oftentimes be. But I will tape them off nonetheless. See, the tape, when I'm doing the hood, the tape will come to this edge. And so it kind of overlaps a little bit. Then the tape will be repositioned or retaped. It'll take a lot of tape on this car. Anything important will be taped over. Because you don't, you know, you can buff these, Tim, but you still need to take the edges off to protect them, because you don't want to be, you don't want that pad rotating on the edges of these stripes, because they are vinyl in most likelihood. And I'll have to get the little bitty buffer out to buff the paint that's inside of here. Bastards, I don't know why they did that. Because, you know, that's got to be painted too. I mean, buffed too, you know what I mean? Same thing in between there. It's going to be a pain. Going to be a pain. Just tedious, time-consuming work, Tim. One reason it takes so long. But anyway, I can see by the clock on the wall, Mr. Carr, my day is done. I will get back on this in the morning. And hopefully we'll get this thing finished up for you pretty soon. And it will be superbly protected, and it will improve the gloss and shine to some degree. Although I figured maybe if I was using a gloss meter, I would say this is right now in the high 80s, the low 90s. It, you know, the coating might get it up to triple digits. It's going to improve it, but it's so good a shape now. I don't know that the gloss and shine is going to get that much better, but it will get better. It'll be like a sheet of glass over the top of your paint, but it will protect it for a very, very long time, and the ease of maintenance will make it utterly worthwhile. So, all right. Thanks for stopping by, Tim. Oh, my little thing keeps going off telling me it's time to go take my medicines. But I'll be back on it in the morning, Mr. Carr. We'll see you guys later. Thank y'all. Like, tag, share, follow, all that stuff. Make comments, ask questions. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified of the future videos on this vehicle and others. I've got a Hemi Challenger coming up after this one, Tim, that was painted. I call it pink. It's almost purple. Somebody said, well, it's actually looked more like champagne. I don't know. But it was a horrible, not horrible, but not a very good paint job. So it looked like, Tim, they sprayed the clear coat on it and just sent it out the door. No buffing, no nothing. And in the low spots on her hood, you know, it's a lot different. There's actually puddles of clear coat that are now hardened, because this was months ago that it was painted. Never seen the like of it, not even from Mako. The guy, whoever it was, he was pouring the clear coat on, I'll tell you that, which is good news, bad news. But there's a lot of grit and nibs in her paint. Some of it's in the base coat. There'll be nothing I can do to help her with that. But anyway, problems for another day. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, Mr. Tim. Have a great one now. Bye, y'all.